All right, welcome back to Judicial Dollars and Cents. We are here at the PILMMA Super Summit event in San Antonio, Texas, and our guest today is Chip Cosse. Thanks for coming, Chip.
Thank you so much for having me. Welcome to PILMMA. It's been an electric conference thus far, huh?
It's been great. Is this how many years have you been here?
I actually joined 1 year ago at their Super Summit in Denver. And so I just celebrated my 1 year anniversary. This is my second Super Summit, but I've been to some other kind of the breakout groups like in Montreal and other places like that. So yeah.
What do you look for when you come to an event like this? You try to get out of it.
Every one of them is good.
Yeah.
There are some that are better than others. Really, you're looking for value. And sometimes you can sit through something and you're like, well, I know that already. And then there's that one pearl of wisdom that you get and it makes your firm, it's like a game changer.
Yeah.
So I always look forward to these, even if some of the information is duplicated, because I know at least one or two really good things will come out of it. Since I joined PILMMA though, it's kind of I would call it mastermind on steroids, because with some of these other masterminds, they're ongoing law firms, right? So their mastermind group is just an additional profit center.
Yeah.
Whereas with PILMMA, it's all that Ken Hardison does. So he focuses 100% of his time and energy to giving that value and constant new information to the lawyers that are members.
Yeah, that's amazing. And have you found that thing so far this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's crazy because the night before the summit started, I was at dinner with my wife and I was kind of lamenting over the fact that I'm working more now than I was 2 years ago, and I was trying to figure out why.
Yeah.
And of course, we've scaled a lot. We've grown, 40-something% per year since that time.
Amazing.
But I was talking to her about how I needed to kind of get out of my own way, that I felt like I was too much in the weeds and I felt like I had good systems and good people that were well trained to run those systems. And I needed to just start delegating those things to them because they're incredibly capable. And so the focus of this conference has actually been, are you your own bottleneck in your firm?
Yeah.
So it's kind of crazy. It's almost like you read my mind.
Absolutely. And we see that with clients all the time, right? It's trying to wear so many different hats.
It is.
Don't put on my cowboy hat here.
Yeah, right. No pun intended.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
But yeah, you wear so many hats that then you get away from just practicing law.
You do. And, lawyers, I think the big problem with it and why this occurs so frequently is because lawyers have to have a fairly large ego to do what they do at a high level. And they don't know when to check that ego at the door and believe that somebody else can be as good as you.
Right.
Because we just generally don't think that way, right?
Right.
And so what happens is, and then that leads to control issues. And sometimes you just need to get out of your own way.
Yeah, absolutely. And for your firm, you do primarily PI work, correct?
Exclusively. Yes.
Okay.
We have a focus on traumatic brain injury cases.
Okay.
So that's our niche. That's kind of our low-hanging fruit. And our reputation for handling those cases has gotten really, really good in the community. So we have lots of referral partners, and now we're getting referral partners from around the country. We're getting cases in Colorado and Illinois and places like that. So, and our team has really dedicated itself, all the lawyers, to going to just numerous conferences all the time on the latest in traumatic brain injury imaging, treatment, who are the best experts, who have the best, curriculum vitae that can present well at trial, because brain injury cases are tough. It's kind of like a computer with a virus,
right?
In the sense that it looks fine from the outside, but it just doesn't work right. It's kind of that invisible injury, and they're hard to prove.
Yeah, that's amazing. You guys are taking that step to just constantly be educating yourselves on the topic, because that's huge. And how has AI played into something like that?
Oh God, it's been huge. I'll say this, I try to keep things simple for my lawyers. So when we meet on a quarterly basis, I track a few metrics that I really think are more important than others. And one of them is your average case resolution value. And in a perfect world, that's always going up, right?
Right.
The other one is the life cycle of the case, which is how long is it open from start to finish?
Absolutely.
And in a perfect world, you want that to go down.
Absolutely.
Well, since we started using a lot of AI in the things that we're doing, over the last 2 years, our average case resolution value has jumped from $46,000 per resolution to 88. $1,200, which is about 7 or 8 times the state average. And at the same time, we cut our life cycle by an average of 126 days per case. So those are, the proof is undeniable. I think that those lawyers that embrace AI and the other efficiencies that go along with it are going to really flourish. And the others that just don't believe in it, or I think it's some sort of a fad or a passing fancy, are going to go the way of the dinosaurs.
Absolutely. Is there a certain, you don't have to name the specific platform you're using, but like what tools are you using that you saw those changes?
I went with a platform that I really thought could embody everything in one place. And I kind of even went back to my staff at a meeting and said, look, guys, you should never have to get out of our case management system to do everything you need to do. You're going to be so happy. Well, they've had some missteps lately. They introduced their AI package several months ago, and it's extremely expensive. But on top of that, it just doesn't work very well. So what we've had to do is have a bit of a gumbo. And I'm from New Orleans, so you throw a whole bunch of stuff in the pot, man, sure does it taste good, right?
That's right.
So we have had to kind of take the best of where we can find it. Hope that there's an integration to our case management system, and if there's not, then we just work outside of the system. And we've gotten great results, and it's not the worst in the world. It's not as streamlined as you would like. I'm an efficiency nut. But it works. It's fine. And our people are really happy. They're handling twice the volume of cases with the same amount of people in the firm. We have not had to expand our staff hardly at all.
Wow. That's amazing. And it's great that you're sharing those KPIs with your team and letting them see the growth and watch and be able to adapt to those things. Well,
it's funny how that came up because I didn't always do it. And sometimes necessity is the mother of invention, right? So what happened is I would always assign new cases that had already been with that lawyer or referred from that lawyer's client or whatever. If it was an organic, meaning completely new client, I would assign the case based on the lawyer's personality, skill set, previous experience handling a case like that. And one day I got accused of playing favorites. To which I said, yeah. What are you going to do to be one of them, right? I didn't make any apologies about it, but I didn't want to just be terse about it. I wanted to actually show them what my thought process was, because I think it's not like I felt like I needed to explain myself, but sometimes when people know the why more than the what, it makes sense. So what happened is it mobilized all those lawyers to kind of up their game. So definitely. Then because I told them, I said, if I did my job right and you're doing your job correctly, I should feel like all my lawyers are A-rated lawyers. It shouldn't matter who the case goes to, but right now it does. So that's on you. You need to undo that.
No, I think that makes a lot of sense. And to that point, it's getting into them and getting them the information that they need to either fuel their flame and be more productive.
And over time, the business climate changes. And I think if you don't adapt, then you go the way of the dinosaurs. And I am having some pushback on my older lawyers who, we used to do it like this.
They used to. There it is.
2 years ago, you said this. I said, you're right. And that was 2 years ago. And in today's world, that's an eternity.
Absolutely. So, and how is it in your firm as far as your financial perspective? Do you share KPIs around the finances of the firm with your team as well, or is that something you're just reviewing by yourself?
No, I share them. I share them because, at the end of the day, we're all individuals, but we're also part of a team.
Absolutely.
And, one of the things I screen for when I hire lawyers is I kind of have a bit of a profile I've put together. And I always look for lawyers that have team sports backgrounds. And the reason why is because, number one, they know how to work with others. Number two, they're better time managers than other people. They tend to be less selfish. So as a result, I think it would be hypocritical of me not to share those things with my team that I rely upon. And then it also makes me look a little shady if I did that. Like, what is he making that much money that he doesn't want? And it's really not that. It's just, I didn't used to think to do it because I thought it was kind of an internal management thing. But I said, this could really spur some healthy competition, growth. And at the end of the day, it's really about the results for the clients. So anything I can do to have those lawyers perform better for our clients, I think that's a win. I absolutely agree. I love your analogy to the team sports because I think that's so huge, and it's something we're seeing. Even at our firm, I participate in hiring of interns and accountants. Even their first jobs outside of college and things like that, and that's
a huge perk whenever you see that on a resume. Is
I agree.
Absolutely.
I look for that first and foremost. You
Yeah.
know, first thing I do, and the interview process to me is repugnant.
Mhm.
I mean, you really don't know someone until they're working with
Until
you
you're
for
in the-
6
in the
months
grooves,
or
yes.
more.
Yeah.
And there are some people that are just phenomenal interviewers,
Mhm.
and some of my best employees have been the ones that I really didn't come out of the interview with a really warm and fuzzy feeling, you know. But it's just one of those things that I look for first.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, is there anything else about your firm that you would want the viewers to know?
Well, we have an unbelievable office culture. We're all friendly with the caveat that the work comes first.
Mhm.
A lot of our folks are best friends outside of the office, which I feel really good about.
Yeah.
And we have a very healthy environment. Everybody at our law firm gets incentivized in some fashion, even the receptionist. And so the idea is, at our office, we focus, and I think this is a good lesson for everybody really, is we focus on the process. We don't say, well, this aspect of our client's case is important, but this one we really don't think is important. We treat each one of those elements of the process equally importantly, because if you focus on the process, I think the results are guaranteed. They take care of themselves. Yeah. And so that's one of the reasons why, I like to believe we do it better. Yeah. And faster and higher level than anyone else.
Absolutely. Yeah. When you invest in your people and you invest in the process, the client satisfaction will kind of come, right?
I think it's automatic.
It just naturally does.
Yeah.
Amazing. Well, this has been great, Chip.
Thank you.
If any of the viewers want to get in touch with you, what's the best way to do that?
Well, our website is CosseLawFirm.com. My email address is chip@CosseLaw.com.
Great.
We're in New Orleans, Louisiana. Our office is directly across the street from the Superdome.
Ooh.
So if you're in town, I'll buy you a cup of coffee and you can see our beautiful view.
Amazing. All right. Well, thank you all. That's another episode of Judicial Dollars and Cents. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Thanks for joining us on Judicial Dollars and Cents, presented by Anders Virtual CFO Services. If you found value in today's conversation, be sure to follow or subscribe wherever you get your podcast. To learn more about how Anders helps law firms strengthen their financial foundations and drive growth, visit anderscpa.com. Until next time, keep making smart decisions that make perfect sense.